Well, good morning, everyone. Fran and I are delighted to be here in Harrison Township. And this is, I just think, a very impressive operation that Public Health is doing. They have really done such a great job throughout this pandemic. So we're very excited about this. You know, as we move forward, it is really great to be able to have, to be on the offense. And this vaccine really allows us to be on the offense. And this past week, we got into about 450,000 doses. I checked with the number of the health departments this morning. Certainly most of those have been already put in people's arms. So it's going exceedingly well. The Public Health Department, Dayton, Montgomery County, I think has really done a really good job. They have really focused on trying to make sure that everybody in the community who wanted a shot has the opportunity to get a shot. And as I talked to different people who were getting shots out there today, you know, I asked them, do you have any hesitation? And you know, one gentleman said, look, I follow the science, and the science indicates that I should be getting this shot, and he says, I think that's the right thing to do. So when I go around, Fran and I go around to the different vaccination sites. We were in East Cleveland a few days ago. It's pretty universal that the people who are getting the shots are very happy. They really look at this as an opportunity to expand their freedom. Some of them talked about spending more time with family members, a mother, a father, grandchildren. And that seems to be kind of the universal theme as we talk to people here today. So, Judy, you want to come on up?
Sure,
and
sure.
On behalf of the county, thank you for what the county is doing. We appreciate it very, very much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're on.
Thank you. Judy Dodge, Montgomery County Commissioner. I just wanted to say thank you to Dayton and Montgomery County Health Department. They have made this thing so smooth today. I've been at a couple of the other sites, and it's effortless. They're so warm and greeting to everybody when they come in the door. They try to reassure everyone if they're a little nervous, like I am all the time. I'm not a person that likes shots. I've had my two. They did not hurt at all, and it went great. So I just wanted to thank you. Thank you, Governor and Mrs. DeWine, for coming and saying hi to everybody. So again, it's a great event today, and we look forward to many, many more. Do not be afraid. Like he said, follow the science. Come on, guys, follow the science. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Dayton City Commissioner Jeff Mims, and again, I can't say just how grateful we are as far as the city of Dayton is concerned to be so far ahead of the curve as compared to other counties around the state, and to see that the vaccinations are making more and more people feel safe. Not so safe that they take their mask off, but safe in terms of understanding that this is a part of science, it's a part of common sense. And unlike some of the other governors across this nation, I'd like to give our governor a round of applause because he has not caused us to take that wrong step in being so overconfident just because we see the number of cases going down and the number of lives that are being saved. So let me just stop for a second and give him a hand. No, appreciate that. That's okay. Yeah, I got my second shot last Wednesday. My wife got her first shot the same day. And again, as Judy had mentioned, we had no symptoms, no side effects, nothing of that nature. And when I listened to those who were talking about hesitation as far as whether they should take the test or not, I had to say to you, it beats the alternative. You know, if there's something wrong, if you have some type of reaction, you think you're going to have some reaction, there are plenty of medical associations that can help you deal with that. But to not take the vaccine is something that we think would be criminal as far as you and your family is concerned. On a personal note, I lost my mother this past August because of the virus. And it's very personal, very painful for me when I think about that. And I apologize if my words are getting a little bit twisted. But it just underscores for me how important it is for those who have loved ones who are no longer at a table, those who have loved ones who are no longer supporting or welcoming their families when they come home from school or when they go to school. This situation is very, very critical, and I'm just so happy that we're moving in the right direction, and Ohio's moving in the right direction, I believe, faster than most states. So thank you again.
President?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Roland Winburn, and I am the president of Harrison Township Board of Trustees. You know, I want to echo what everybody said. It has also hit me personally as well, with a family who has died and family members who have also survived. If we look outside today, we can see the number of people who are here today. That shows you that people are now willing to understand the science of this vaccine and are willing to take the vaccine to save lives, their lives, and family members of their lives. It's important to know that we hear often about the hesitancy of people of color, black individuals, who not want to take the medication. But right now, what we also are finding out that we want the citizens, the people who are considering the vaccine for themselves or their family, to also know that you must have a positive, great relationship with your own doctor. That's also very important, to also have discussions with them about the medications, the vaccines, and so forth. We often lose sight of that as we understand the hesitancy to go out and take the vaccine. So I want to, again, echo everything that the former elected officials said today regarding taking the vaccine. I can only say that the individuals who are here today, the number of people here today, are willing to do that because they've heard the science. So, Governor, thank you very much.
President.
Thank you very much for coming to our township today and being here to support that. Thank you.
President, thank you very much. You know, you said something that I think is very important. For anyone who has any hesitancy about getting the vaccine, talk to your doctor, talk to your family doctor. I think that's always good advice, and you know, listen to what that doctor has to say. And you know, people who do have concerns, that's probably the best thing that you can do. Happy to take any questions.
I know you started a task force about the Minority Health Strike Force. So, like events like this, is this the kind of work that you want to see done across the state?
Yeah, Montgomery County is doing a very good job in this area. They're being very, very proactive. You know, they're working with people in the community, and they're doing it in really a number of different ways. As Fran and I walked around and talked to the people out there, you know, one of the questions I asked them was, well, how did you find out about it? And some said through the health department. Some said, I saw it on the news media. Some said, my sister told me, my cousin told me, somebody in my church told me. So the word of mouth is very, very important. And I would just say, you know, to anyone who's watching this, you have a real role to play. If you've got a family member that maybe has a hard time making an appointment, or you think they've not gotten the vaccine, but they should be getting the vaccine, you know, take that opportunity, because we're all in this together. It's going to take all of us working together, and that's really what we're seeing. So this is a great reflection of great community work. It's not done. We all know we have a ways to go. I was talking with Commissioner Jeff Cooper this morning, and you know, we just talked about what has been happening in Montgomery County, but we all have a ways to go. You know, we will hit by the end of today. You know, we will hit about 2 million people who have been vaccinated, but we have a long way to go. And our goal is to make sure that every single Ohioan who wants this vaccine has an opportunity to get the vaccine in a convenient way. We have now in the state of Ohio about over 1,200 separate places where you can get the vaccine, and that does not count, you know, kind of a pop-up place like this. And so a lot of different opportunities for people to get it, but we have to continue to be very focused on getting it done.
Governor, not to sound redundant, but what will the numbers have to look like for you to release Ohio to go back to normal? And will there be an Ohio State Fair this year?
Yeah. You know, as far as the Ohio State Fair, that's a very good question. I've not been asked that question yet. We certainly hope at the very least that there will be a junior fair so that kids from Montgomery County, Greene County, Darke County, you know, will be able to compete not only at their county fair, but will be able to go to the state fair. Fran and I have had a couple kids who had the opportunity to go to the state fair for photography, for example, and it was a big, you know, it's a big thrill. So we hope that the state fair will be able to exist at least in the sense of a junior fair for kids for 4-H and FFA. As far as when we can pull off all our health orders, we're not there yet, but we have set a goal of 50 cases per 100,000 population over a 2-week period of time. It's a standard measure. We show this measure every day. The last I looked, we were at about 117. But if you looked at where we were a month ago, we were way, way above that. I think we're up in 600 or 700 level. So we've come a long way. We've made great progress. And we believe with this vaccine, that really does put us on offense. And we're going after it now, and we're going after it very hard. People all across the state are working very, very hard. But we can't let up. We're on offense, but we have to stay on defense as well. And the mask, at least for the next few months, will enable us to stay on defense. At the same time, we're on offense and going after the virus.
Governor, following up on that, no surprise to you that when you made the announcement about 50 cases per 100,000 before, over a 2-week period before you would reopen the state or begin the reopening process, you've had plenty of people push back against that and not like that. Can you just talk a little bit more about why you chose that benchmark and why you think it's a good spot to hit before you consider reopening?
Well, we have to stay on defense at the same time we're on offense, and the defense, of course, is through these masks. But before we made the decision about what the benchmark would be or what the goal would be, you know, we talked to a lot of epidemiologists all over the state of Ohio. Dr. Vanderhoff really kind of led that effort for us, and came back and said 50 is a good mark, because if we can get below 50, we're really driving this virus down very, very significantly. So every day that goes by, we're vaccinating more people. I think yesterday we were over 40,000 people. Today we always get the data a day late, but those numbers are going to continue. So every single day, every minute during the day, you know, there's another Ohioan who is being protected, and the more people we protect, it's a cumulative thing. The more people we protect, the better off we're going to be. And this state will look a lot different in a month from now. It'll look even different 2 weeks from now. So our goal has to be everybody that wants this vaccine has the opportunity to get it. And you know, what we're seeing in Harrison Township today, right here, is a real indication of great work that's being done.
Is there anything you want to say to the healthcare workers that are taking care of us?
Oh, I thanked a number of them out there, and look, if you talk about people who work for the health department, whether they're a nurse or whatever their job is, they've been at this battle for a year, an entire year, and we have asked them to do a great deal, and they have done it, and they've hung in there, and they're still doing it. So we can't thank them enough. They are just absolutely phenomenal. We don't give them much credit many times. They deserve all the credit, because they not only are doing the tracing, they're doing the regular health department work, but now they're at the forefront of giving people these vaccines, which really are our ticket out and our ticket back to normal. Anybody else?
You brought up 1 year, and tomorrow marks the 1 year, not to take you anniversary, but of the first COVID diagnosis. Kind of walk us back through your administration for the last year, maybe things you did well, things you maybe would have changed.
Well, I often joke with my team, And when we're talking about something, and I say, well, you know, the next pandemic we have to battle, I'll know more. Maybe we won't make that decision, or we'll make a different decision. The reality is that when this started a year ago, the scientists really didn't know exactly what was ahead. The medical professionals really did not. And we've learned a lot. I mean, just as an example, these masks. When we started this, we didn't really know how powerful these masks were. And you remember the emphasis was on cleaning surfaces and doing things like that, and that's still important. But what's been so evident is this is airborne, and the mask protects people. And we know in Ohio, because we've tested it in Ohio. We've tested into our schools and our classrooms, and what we've found is kids who are even less than 6 feet apart, if they're wearing a mask, and everybody in the room is wearing a mask, it just does not spread very much at all in that classroom. And so it's really, we've learned a lot. And so the emphasis on the mask, I think, is based upon science. It's based on what we've seen in Ohio and what we've learned.
Governor, are there lessons that the rest of the state could learn from Montgomery and Dayton? Like Commissioner Mims said, we have a higher percentage of African American minority people getting vaccinated here.
Well, what I see in Montgomery County is the county itself, the city itself, the health department are all very much working together, and that's a great thing. But they're not just working together as government entities, they're reaching out to the community. So the location of this site in Harrison Township makes sense. It's close to a significant number of people. They're going to be back here again on Friday, I believe, and so more people will have the opportunity. So taking the sites to the people of the community, there's just absolutely no substitute for it. That is the best. But you have to, for example, they had a great outreach to churches. So as I talked to different people out there, a number of them told us, you know, they found out about it through their church. News media, frankly, in Dayton has done a great job. I mean, some people told us, well, we saw it on the 6 o'clock news, or we saw it on the 5:30 news, or we read it in the newspaper. You know, all hands on deck is really the message, I think, if we're going to reach everybody. And you know, one of the things that we're starting to see health departments do, every Monday morning I'm going to call 7:15 every health department in the state for 45 minutes. One of the things we're seeing them now do is, how do we reach the people who are homebound and really can't get out? And so that effort has started, and that's very important too. So you know, I think Montgomery County, Dayton, this whole community is doing a very, very good job.
For the outlying areas, Governor DeWine, if any individuals are having a tough time trying to get the vaccine, what do you recommend that they do?
Yeah, we're going to have an announcement at 2 o'clock about that, and you know, our site it went live this morning at 9 o'clock, so we'll be talking about that at 2 o'clock, how people can have access to that. And you know, most of the health departments have a phone line, so that, let's say, you know, you're 90 years old and you don't use the internet, you can still pick up the phone and call the health department, and they're going to be there to help you. And that's a real key.
Governor, when you said our site, are you talking about the new state scheduling site?
Yeah. It's up, and we'll be talking more about it at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
A little
preview there.
little breaking news there. So you know, little bit. Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you all. I'm sorry.
Is there anything about schools?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Look. We're just, you know, very, very happy to have 96% of the kids back in school. And I'm kind of a guy, the glass is half full. Well, it's 96% full, and we're happy. We're happy about that. It's important. Many of our kids have really been out of school for 12 months, and it's important to get them back in school. So we're very happy about that. Okay, thanks everybody.